¡Hola! Hola, amigos. Hola, amigos. Madre mía, me voy a morir. ¡Hola! Vale, se escucha. Pues nada, vamos a continuar con... Bueno, vamos a continuar. Vamos a empezar el DLC. El último DLC. A ver, un segundito. Vale. Bueno, me he vuelto a poner el mod de Henry Cavill, ¿vale? Porque como ayer lo quité. Porque la marquita que te pone Odín, en vez de ser una marca, es cara payaso. Vale, pues ya está. Me he vuelto a poner otra vez la cara de Henry Cavill, así que maravilloso. Bueno, si veis algo raro, los de ayer, me refiero, o los que entráis nuevos, tengo las espadas, que este mod ya le tenía desde el principio del juego, ¿vale? Que simplemente son espadas Magic, que lo puedo quitar si quiero, vaya. O sea, me puedo venir aquí, Options, Mods, Armas, Main, le doy a Vanilla y ya está. Y las vuelvo a sacar de aquí de forma normal. Lo que sí es... no me acuerdo si fue para una fiesta o no sé para qué coño fue. Ah, vale, creo que fue para lo del hermano del Oliret, que me cambiaron el peinado, ¿vale? Así que vamos a hacer un fast travel y nos vamos a ir a donde haya... a donde haya una persona que te corte las estas. Creo que es por aquí. Creo que es por esta zona. Pero no estoy seguro, ¿vale? Más otra cosa por ponernos un peinado diferente, no por nada en especial, ¿vale? Es que a mí, a mí concretamente este peinado así con el pelo rapado... O sea, si no tuviese la coleta detrás, sino que simplemente fuese el pelo suelto con el corte ese rollo... No sé ni con qué compararlo. Bueno, ya me entendéis, sin la coleta que lleva detrás el señor Henry. ¿Veis? Esa coleta, si esa coleta no la llevas y simplemente llevas el pelo suelto, cortito, con el pelo cortado así más de fondo, me valdría. Pero no me gusta. No sé por qué, pero no me gusta. Luego, sin en cambio, tienes el normal. Creo que era por aquí. Luego, sin en cambio, tienes el normal. Que el normal, pues a unas malas mola, pero... Creo que era por aquí, ¿eh? No me hagáis caso. Creo que es aquí. Sí, míralo. Otra cosa no, pero no se me olvidaba, porque siempre venía a esta barbería. Siempre, además. Hola, buena. Que sí. Cállese. Quiero cambiar el peinado. La barba creo que me da un poco igual. A ver. Joder, es que qué asco. Medio suelto, atado detrás de la cabeza. Largo y suelto, suelto, no muy largo. Rapado por los lados, corto por arriba y coleta. El corte de elfo rebelde. A ver. No sé cómo le quedará visualmente. Este es el corte este que es súper guapo. Casi, pero no. Claro, es que ahora como me los cambia. Todo rapado excepto la coleta. Es que no me acuerdo cuál es el que quiero yo. El que quiero yo, el peinado que quiero yo, mola mucho más, pero no sé cuál es. A ver, medio suelto. Hay dinero de sobra, así que no me preocupa. Vale, este sería el por defecto. Todo rapado excepto la coleta. Ah, ¿no? Este creo que es el que llevaba, ¿verdad? Sí. Por favor, quiero el... Largo y suelto. Este es Sí, el largo y suelto. Este es el... Este se asemeja un poco más a la serie. Este está guay. A ver, suelto no muy largo. A ver si encuentro el que quiero. El que quiero yo es un corte muy... Es como... Es como este, pero no es exactamente este. Vale, sería largo y suelto. Vale, rapado por los lados. A ver. Lo de los pelos es una putísima mierda, realmente. Ay, Dios. Vale. Largo y suelto. Aunque el problema del mod este de Henry Cavill creo que no me va a dejar poner barbas. ¿No? Ah, vale, perdón, que es suelto no muy largo. Me he equivocado. Es que hay uno que tiene como... que parece rollo como si fuese de anime. ¿Vale? De una serie anime. Se parece un montón. Creo que realmente da igual lo de la barba. Voy a probar por si acaso. Ahora es cuando crasea el modelado. Pero creo que la barba, ¿ves? La barba realmente te da igual. O sea, la barba da igual porque el mod de Henry Cavill lo que hace es... los parámetros que controlan la barba, simplemente lo que hace es... que se quita. Joder, qué raro visualmente, loco. Y si pongo barba... A ver, ahora mismo está como súper afeitado, ¿vale? Pero si pongo barba entera pero poca, le sale como un poquito, ¿no? Vale, este está mejor. No me gusta el peinado, pero... al menos por cambiar un poco visualmente. Joder, es que es feo como... Es que es feo, ¿eh? ¿Le ponemos el pelo por defecto? O sea, le pongo el pelo normal suyo. El con el que empiezas el juego. Es que no me gusta, tío. O sea, el peinado que quiero yo es que no está, tío. Medio suelto, atado detrás de la cabeza. Era este, el original, ¿no? El que con el que empiezas el juego, vaya. ¿Y verdad? Vamos a ir con el look original. Y ya está. Ya que tiene physics. Bueno, ¿estáis preparados para irnos hacia las tierras de los croissants? Como se llama Tuisan. Es gracioso porque no es coña, ¿vale? La primera vez que salió el DLC, ¿vale? La primera vez que salió el DLC, se anunció Blood and Wine que iba a ser en el reino de Tuisan. Yo literalmente dijo, ah, el reino de Croissant. Literalmente, dije Croissant. Y se me quedó así la tontería, ¿vale? Lo siento. Pero no es coña, o sea, se me quedó literalmente Croissant. En vez de Tuisan, se me quedó Croissant. Y luego, cuando lo vi bien, ponía Tuisan. Y yo, ah, y se quedó Croissant para siempre. Es la tierra del vino. Pero que me hizo mucha gracia. Ahora vamos en plan bien. O sea, me refiero, vamos con el set con el que empiezas el juego, pero de color negro. Vamos obviamente con el pelo, vamos con las dos espaditas, aunque técnicamente llevo una espada en la serie, pero bueno. Puedo quitar una espada si quiero, para que no se vea.
Milton, look. Get out. In the flesh. Hail, Witcher. Let us go inside and greet you as befits an old friend. And you, fear not. We shall put an end to the rule of outlaws soon.
Útil.
Found your message on a notice board.
Bueno, más o menos tengo 6 horas, o sea, tengo hasta las 12:30 más o menos para jugar. Así que espero poder pasármelo rápido.
I knew that were we only to follow the tracks of its slayer, we would in the end find Geralt. Milton de Peyran and Palmer de Lawnful. Good to see you both. Been years. Be assured, we share your joy. You must forgive us our surroundings. When we pledged to place the village under our protection, the village elder gave us this hut as our lodgings. He swore it is the best hut in the village. Get involved in some squabble? We discovered that in retreating, the Redanian garrison that left this land still is at the mercy of numerous plagues. The tyranny of bandits the most onerous among them. These plunderers shall soon descend on this village to collect tribute. Milton and I will dissuade them. We are both sworn to fight injustice and oppression wherever they rear their heads. The matter does not concern you, of course, but do us the kindness of waiting.
Y por mí fuese lo pasaba, pero como esto es historia, o sea, las misiones secundarias me dan igual, pero como esto es historia, o sea, unas malas...
So, plan to go out and meet the bandits when they arrive? Fight them? Parmelan wishes first to appeal to their sense of decency. But I expect they will be deaf to this.
Yeah, completely.
We must afford them a chance to stand down. Many are hard
Joder, tengo ganas de
to
pasármelo simplemente para desinstalar este juego ya. Es que lo llevo arrastrando desde que empecé hasta ahora un montón de tiempo. Pero cuando me pasé el juego, literalmente no tenía ganas de seguir jugando a este juego. Por eso hace un par de días hice lo del el DLC de Hearts of Stone y ahora quiero pasarme esto, pero porque quiero quitarme el juego. Porque tengo otros juegos ahí, que tengo el Daymar, el 1998, tengo el Iron Fist, tengo juegos del Xbox Game Pass que quiero jugar y cuanto antes me los quite, antes puedo jugarlos. A mí lo que me hace gracia es que en vez de coger y enfrentarse a ellos, se quedan llorando y ya está, no hacen más.
Contemptible curs.
He mean us?
I, Parmelan de Lawnfall, call upon you to repent. Set your hearts. Do you not see that they are blackened?
Regular punch and duty here.
To prey upon commoners is no honor. To loot their meager stores. Abandon the path of shame, and we will spare you.
Right good jest, that. Had us a laugh. Now, fuck off or we lose our patience and you lose something else.
Nay, wait, Zorg. These lads are a lark. Mayhaps they know some...
Van a morir, pero bueno,
Oi,
ok.
players! Can you toss balls all loopity-like? Or do that thing where one spits fire while the other farts?
Seems to me they're unmoved.
You tried, my friend.
Déjame a mí, yo tardo 3
I
segundos.
challenge you all to combat. By my honor. For Toussaint.
For Beauclair, by the crane, defend yourselves, harlots brutes.
Claro. ¿Por qué me subo a este caballo de mierda? Mira, no le hacen ni daño.
Why do they not emerge? It is over. We have banished the scoundrels, lifted oppression's yoke from their lives.
Warned you it'd be like this. Fear you as much as they did the bandits now. Sorry, no fanfares and flowers. You're not in Toussaint.
Ah, it is true what folk claim. In the north, no noble deed.
Realmente Toussaint mola un huevo, tío. O sea, visualmente,
And we shall, my friend.
no gráficamente, ojo, visualmente, Toussaint
Come, Geralt.
como escenario mola un montón, tío. O sea, a mí me parece el más colorido de todo el juego. O sea, literalmente se nota vivo. O sea, se nota que es el país de Toussaint, me refiero, se nota que lo cuidan. O sea, la gente, hipotéticamente hablando, me refiero. O sea, se preocupan porque su tierra esté bien cuidada, ¿sabéis? Porque al fin y al cabo es el que hace el vino más caro, por decirlo así, de aquí, de lo que viene a ser del juego.
Slayer of monsters and all evils nefarious, which prey on the defenseless of this world. Whereas never have you been known to deny help to the innocent, nor leave widows and orphans to fates undeserved. Answer you now our present summons. Free us from the beast which floods our streets with blood and sows panic in the hearts of rich and poor alike. Come to our aid, Witcher. Thus humbly beseeches you the Star-Crossed City's most gracious protectress, Her Illustrious Highness, Duchess Anna Henrietta.
Shall you answer her call?
Might be the most fervent request that I take a contract ever, and the most polite. And now we've got all that behind us. I want to hear more about this beast. Some kind of monster? Just guessing.
Most assuredly, though no one has caught a good look at it as yet. Our only sure witnesses, bodies massacred in a brutal, horrid manner.
Look, some sketches drafted from descriptions given by those who claim they glimpsed the beast. Each quite different. To my mind, these witnesses lie.
How many victims so far?
2. When Her Grace learnt of the second, she discharged us immediately to fetch
Vampiros.
promising grants of land and fortunes in gold, should you answer her summons.
An ill wind blows, Geralt. The beast cannot be tracked. Folks say it wields black magic. Also, both victims were nobly born, and the start of a tourney draws near.
Sí, pa'lante.
I sometimes think back to all the contracts I've ever taken from sovereigns. Can't name hardly any where I came out ahead.
You cannot be thinking to refuse.
No. Just struck by a thought. How the Duchess can sometimes be... demanding.
So you accept the contract? Excellent!
We must set off at once. We long wanted this land searching for you, yet time is of the essence.
Ready to go, soon as you're packed.
Ah, then post haste to Toussaint.
To Toussaint!
Al final, no sé qué final sacaremos, pero el final que casi siempre suelo sacar yo es el que en el que Geralt está hablando con otro personaje, no me acuerdo quién es, y de repente llega un momento en el que mira a cámara como diciendo, se ha acabado. O sea, has llegado hasta aquí después de tantas horas, se ha acabado. O sea, te mira a ti, mira a la cámara, mira al jugador, o sea, rompe la cuarta pared. No sé si conseguiré sacar ese final. Siempre que he jugado, las 3 o 4 veces que me he pasado, siempre he sacado ese final. Nunca he ido a buscarle a posta. Pero siempre saco ese final, así que veremos qué ocurre en esta run. Por eso digo que, por ejemplo, en el DLC de Hearts of Stone, hay otro final que suelo sacar, que es el que el Odín me mete dentro de como de una especie de mundo, una dimensión y yo tengo que buscar un espejo, es un puzzle que tengo que buscar un espejo y salir. Y sin en cambio, no lo he hecho. ¿Sabéis lo que quiero decir? Entonces, no lo voy a buscar, yo voy a avanzar y lo que salga, ¿eh? Lo que salga, así es como se va a quedar. Mira, ¿veis? Es como súper colorido.
Exactly how I remembered it.
Es que a mí Tuisan, visualmente, ¿veis? Es que visualmente mola un huevo, tío, Tuisan. Tuisan es como súper bonito.
You will see for yourself.
To me, place always seemed straight out of a fairy tale. Knights errant, elven palaces.
You insinuate that we are somehow odd? I shall prove you wrong. This I pledge on the Heron.
No sé si tenemos que enfrentarnos a este primero. Es que fíjate cómo empieza la expansión. O sea, es que empieza como una locura. O sea, es una locura como empieza la expansión. Vamos por culo el caballo. Sí, sí, que te vas a defender con una espadita. Pero claro, vienes tú porque tienes unos huevazos que flipas, ¿sabes? Bueno, es que me cago en Dios. Qué asco la hitbox de los... Creo que ahora te dan el casco ese para ponerlo en el caballo.
Big beast. Tackling it single-handed? None too wise.
Hay una arena también que puedes pelear y todo. Es una barbaridad el juego.
Outfitted. Which fair damsel inspired you to vow to kill that filth?
The most beautiful among them.
If he wishes to guard her name a secret, he need not reveal it.
You I do not know, sir, nor seem you a knight, yet still I am profoundly grateful, nay, indebted to you for your succor. This trophy, sir, is yours.
I'll take the trophy. Why not? Could find someone who'll pay to buy it. Put up a good fight against the giant. Got experience battling monsters?
None. In Tucson we mostly chase bandits, but I vowed I'd bring my heart's champion the head of a monstrosity, as the famed Gottfried, known as the Giant Killer, did.
You don't mean to hunt the beast, I hope. The matter's best left to Geralt.
Another challenge awaits me. Yet if Geralt is to hunt the beast...
Me mola la pelea final, o sea, el boss final.
The river surrendered a corpse. It washed up
Aunque va a morir en cuestión de
Damien de la Tour's guardsmen are there already.
3 nanosegundos, pero bueno.
Securing the area? Better go there now before they trample any
Tengo que mirar la
tracks.
dificultad, no sé en qué dificultad está.
Set forth then. I
El
shall
juego.
ride for the city to inform her gracious
Creo que
magnificence
lo cambié
that
para
Geralt
hacer
has
algo.
arrived.
Es que los mato demasiado rápido. A ver, también es verdad que las armas y todo lo que llevo está bastante mejorado, pero... Creo que lo puse en fácil y creo que lo he estado jugando en fácil. Vamos a ponerlo en normal o algo así, porque si no... O en difícil. En total. A ver... no. ¿Juego? Ah, mira, ¿ves? Es que creo que puse la historia y punto. ¿Lo ponemos en normal o lo ponemos en sangre, sudor y lágrimas? Me da igual en normal. Vamos a ponerlo en normal. Si veo que es muy fácil, lo ponemos en la otra dificultad. Lo que sí voy a hacer... Porque el trofeo que tengo puesto, ¿qué es? 5% de oro adicional. Eso me da igual. Oro adicional. 5% de experiencia por... No me da un poco igual. O sea, me da igual llevar uno. Voy a llevar este porque me hace gracioso lo de las plantas esas, pero vamos.
Guillaume is his kid.
Vale, mutaciones y equipos de brujo de gran maestro. En Blood and Wine puedes experimentar mutaciones de... no mate para. Quería leer por si puedo mejorar más la armadura que llevo, pero... No. El juego ha dicho... No, no, no. ¿Veis? Es que me parece súper colorido el... Wizard. Es que si pudiese mejorar el traje este que llevo, que es nivel 40, si pudiese mejorarlo más, estaría guay. En teoría... Uy. En teoría sale todo en el mapa, ¿no? Sí, vale, que está todo puesto. Vale, vale. Sí, realmente el único problema que tiene este juego es que te tiras un montón con el tema de las conversaciones.
No one here. They must have removed the body already.
Let's look around. Make sure they didn't miss anything. Hobnailed boots, multiple sets of prints. Ducal guard, clearly. Let's see where they went. Walked along the shoreline. Got guests. Careful.
Ah, bueno, que esto se explota. No sé si hay alguna opción para... O sea, para que exploten, pero que no nos hagan nada.
Let's keep looking. An Anything taken by the current ends up in these shallows.
Yes, the stench is fierce.
Blood. Guardsmen pulled these nets out of the water, then cut the mutilated body free.
Ah, bueno.
Gonna dive in, make sure they didn't miss anything.
Vale, ahí no hay nada. Ahí hay algo. ¿Os habéis dado cuenta que ponía pañuelo con las iniciales DLC? ¿Pilláis la tontería?
Silk kerchief, monogrammed DLC.
DLC.
Noble's accessory.
Curioso, ¿verdad?
Need to comb the bank. Only blood-soaked scraps left of the victim's clothing. Good quality cloth.
Wealthy victim, correct?
Looks it.
Curioso, ¿verdad?
Look, a boat was launched here. Guardsmen must have loaded the body parts onto it, taken them somewhere. Need to find out where. I'd like to look at the corpse before it starts to decompose.
The inn. Its patrons must have seen the guardsmen, which direction they took. We should ask there.
Me convence poco, pero sí. Ah, bueno, atraviesa personas.
One thing. Found a handkerchief in the water. Monogrammed DLC. Mean anything to you?
Delacroix? It cannot be. Was it he the beast slew?
Seems so. Knew him well?
Long past. We were close friends once, but our paths diverged. He was a man of extremes, standing by his companions no matter the odds, fighting his foes to the bitter end.
Foes? You have a lot of them?
He did, but I do not see what that has to do with the beast. Ah, Geralt, you've struck a raw nerve. Memories of a time long past, to which I'd rather not return now.
I understand. We can talk later. Let's go to the tavern.
I shall have to return to court.
Ah, que tengo que seguirla,
Back to Toussaint.
A knight in the service of Her Illustrious Highness knows no rest. In fact, I'd feared I would return too late to fulfill my duty.
Qué despacito.
Yet it seems I've arrived in the nick of time.
Y casi puedo ir andando y voy a la misma velocidad. Tiene que ser horroroso ir en verano o en época calurosa o aquí simplemente porque tiene pinta de pegar el sol bastante intenso. O sea, te tienes que morir en esa armadura.
Be sure to report to Anarietta.
Anarietta?
Her Grace, the Duchess. I forget myself at times. We address each other by our first names in private. Never.
O sea, tienes que puto morir,
however. He finds such familiarity offensive. A watering hole for traders, smugglers, boatmen. But you will find no better crayfish chowder in all Toussaint.
They say that Irene has such extraordinary taste. Some of the girls charge him less if he dyes their skirts.
Esa señora parece un poco sospechosa. La que está leyendo el libro.
By my troth, could that be the musty scent of fresh pate?
Naught else, Sir de Peyrac-Peyran. I see time has not dulled your senses.
We would be honored if you would join us. Your companion as well.
But why do I not detect even a whiff of crayfish chowder?
No soup today, on account of there being no crayfish. I reckon you've not heard, but all I caught was a corpse. I awoke at the crack of dawn, as I do each day, but when I looked up, I beheld a blood-red sky.
This corpse is precisely why we're here. For the man whom you've invited to join you at the table was summoned from a far-off land by her gracious magnificence. He is tasked with tracking and killing the beast.
We invited 2 men to join us, yet since Sir the Peyrak in temperament is more akin to hare than hound, I surmise the other is the hunter. With whom do we have the pleasure?
Gerardo.
Name's Geralt.
A humble introduction. You've clearly not tarried long with Sir the Peyrak.
Spare us the petty insults. Geralt is a master of the witchering trade. He has questions concerning the beast's last victim.
I was the one to find the corpse. The sun had just risen when I awoke, sat straight up in my bed, looked out the window, and beheld a sky red.
Look at the window.
Ask him, please, or we shall be here to
Ay, no
enter.
puedo. En serio.
Need to examine the body. Know where they took it?
They ferried it across, then loaded it on a cart and hauled it to a cellar at Corfo Bianco to keep it cool, see?
What? Why, Corfo Bianco is Baron Russell's estate. When he learns they've turned his cellar into a morgue, he'll set his hounds on them.
While you were gallivanting about the north, his vineyard was auctioned off.
Who was
una
that? Woman who just left.
Bruj.
Didn't see her before. Didn't notice her walk in either.
Doubtless Linnis, the innkeep's daughter. But hold, Geralt, because this is an outrage. Russell's vineyard was auctioned off? Inconceivable.
It is no secret the Baron had gambling debts up to his ears. It finally came time to collect. His creditors auctioned off his property. The Ducal Chancellery bought it, in fact. Russell now bunks with his brother in Vicofaro.
I told Russell he'd get his comeuppance. How long can one draw on past heroics? His creditors must finally have to find that his promises meant nothing.
Such are the times. Today's knights are pale shadows of the heroes of yore.
It's true what they say. God sent the beast to punish us for straying from the old paths.
Y realmente a mí lo que me mata de este juego son las conversaciones, que son interminables. O sea, si por mí fuese, yo me lo saltaba y en 3 horas me pasaba la historia.
Near the tourney grounds. Just follow the road and you'll arrive.
Not coming with? Oh yeah, duty of some sort calls.
Some sort? Her Grace bestowed a great honor on me, even before we departed for Velen. I'm to play the hare during this year's...
Jesús, ¿sabéis lo que me apetece? Helado. Ahora vengo.
See me in my costume, you will wet yourself laughing.
A little tempted to ask a few questions, but it sounds like a long, complicated story. One involving lengthy digressions into local history and tradition. So, see you later, Milton, and good luck.
Ahora ya estoy. Es que ahora tengo que esperar a que se descongele un poco. ¿Sabéis qué juego va a ser el siguiente que me saque el platino? Voy a probar a sacarme el platino del Returnal. Lo dudo bastante, ¿vale? Porque parece que es complicado porque como se resetean las zonas, o sea, son aleatorias, me refiero, va a ser un poco... no sé de qué manera, pero va a ser un poquito complicado. Pero el trofeo, o sea, el platino que me voy a sacar va a ser el de Guardianes de la Galaxia. Porque literalmente el juego de Guardianes de la Galaxia yo lo tengo en PC, yo me lo compro en PC. Y a mí solamente me quedan sacarme 3 trofeos, que es conseguir todos los trajes y todos los coleccionables. Así que realmente me lo voy a sacar, o sea, me lo voy a pasar otra vez y me lo voy a sacar. Básicamente, pero nos lo vamos a pasar en difícil o en otra dificultad. El juego. Nos lo pasaremos en Play 5, la versión de Play 5, por supuesto. Y haremos por lo mismo que he estado haciendo con el Infamous y tal. Haremos directos Haremos directos pues hasta que me saque el trofeo y ya está. Ah, bueno, está aquí al lado. Madre mía, lo he sacado hace 2 minutos el helado. Y está casi descongelado. Solo casi.
Hey there.
Es que me parece... Me parece increíble. Quiero probar una cosa. ¿Puedo bajar...? No. ¿Puedo bajar los gráficos? Vale. Creo que los tengo en alto. Si los pongo en bajo... ¿Vale? Tengo la sincronización... Espérate, tengo la sincronización a... Por favor, fuera. Voy a poner los gráficos en bajo, a ver cómo se ve. Loco, se ve igual. Loco, se ve igual. A ver, a lo mejor el tema de las sombras, ¿no? Vamos a fijarnos brevemente aquí. Y ahora lo vamos a poner en alto, que es como lo tenía yo, ¿vale? Pues tampoco veo que cambie mucho. Y va a 80 FPS. Es que yo, claro, yo lo tenía la sincronización vertical. Entonces, prefiero que vaya un poquito... Prefiero que vaya un poquito más de FPS, aunque a 60 me vale, vaya, pero...
Throat torn open by man-like jaws. Man-like, except for long fangs.
Segundo, que estoy pillando helado, eh.
Busted ribs, blood from the ears. Took a solid hit. Massacred by a vampire. Not an Ekimara, though, or a Fletter. Bruxa, gotta be. Killed with a single blow. In the cellar, gotta be. Footprints. Small bare feet. Lead deeper into the cellar. Fell down
Esta
the
creo que es
stairs, broke his neck.
la chica. No sé si es la chica, eh. Creo que es la chica. ¿Sí?
You. Saw you at the inn. I know what you are. Don't know why you killed these people, though. Clearly wasn't for their blood. We don't have to fight.
You are wrong. I cannot let you leave.
Vale, es un lamia. Loco, que no, iba a decir que no le doy. Que te calles. ¿Qué? ¿Te ha gustado la explosión, eh? Qué asco. Lo estaba descuartizando.
was amputated. Body was quartered just as I thought.
A ver. Examinemos.
Laid in water for some time. Head swollen, and something took a few bites out of it.
Un par de peces.
Something in the throat. A pouch, bulging with coins. Nilfgaardian Florence.
Tengo ganas del nuevo de Witcher.
If the murderer did this.
Tengo ganas del nuevo de Witcher que van a hacer con el Unreal Engine 5. Pero vamos, hasta dentro de un par de años no vamos a saber nada. Esperemos que lo hagan mejor. Así que veremos.
Blows struck with great force, but bones sliced through, not crushed. Creature that killed him had long claws, sharp as a witcher's blade. First sank its claws into the victim's heart. No Bruxa did this. Third hand. A spare? Except it's clearly not the victim's. Guardsmen must have not noticed it as they picked everything up. How's this possible? Still warm. Blood still flowing? Several monster species can regenerate. Never heard of that happening to their severed limbs, though. Or of their limbs seeming completely alive after so much time. Examine the tissue more closely later. Might learn something.
Y te llevas la manita.
So, murderer was clearly a monster, but not a Bruxa. But then why'd the Bruxa come here for the severed hand? And who does the hand belong to? Why the hell's it still warm? Now, pouch shoved down the victim's throat. What's the significance? And why was he chopped up into pieces? Lots of questions, no answers so far. Need to know about the other victims. I'll ask Palmerin to get me in to see the Duchess.
Bueno, ha sido tan larga la conversación que casi me termino en el helado. Creo que esta casa... Sí. Esta casa de aquí te la dan luego a ti. O sea, esto se convierte en tu casa. Cuando terminas el juego te dan esta casa para ti. ¿No ves que hay ahí dentro en el minimapa? No sé si saldrá aquí. No, bueno, ahí lo podéis ver. Casa de Geralt. Pues esta casa literalmente, no sé si es que te la dan a ti o es tuya. Pero vamos, que luego al final del juego esta casa es de tu propiedad, vaya. Y está guay. Ah, esto es lo de la arena. Baja a 60 FPS. Porque hay un montón de gente que tiene que renderizar. Bueno, ahora en la conversación ya me termino el enlace.
All right, you scamps. Story is done. Go find your parents.
But the Palmerin, what about the story of Rittik and the dragon?
Our tales for another time. But take a good look at the man who stands before you now. This is Geralt of Rivia, the master witcher who lent his valiant hand to the defeat of the giant Goliath.
Master Witcher, is it true virtue always trumps villainy?
Sí.
Yeah. Virtue always wins.
But the Black Knight, he's a villain and he wins. The cutter of Casteldaccia too.
Moral victory. That's what counts.
Rubbish.
Now, that will do for questions. Go find your parents. Her Enlightened Highness has doubtless arrived at the tourney grounds to watch the battle in the arena. If we hurry, we'll be in time to speak with her before the spectacle begins.
Lead the way.
Los niños están un poco subidos de tonos aquí, ¿eh?
Nilfgaardian gladiators.
Close, but not quite, as you will soon see.
Someone's gonna fight a Shalmar with only some bells on its tail to confuse it, slow it down.
Whatever is the problem? The beast is a gift from the Emperor, no less.
This is dangerous. Bells on its tail aren't enough.
I saw a spectacle of the sort at the arena in Nolio. There, a knight defeated a Shalmar with
Se
bells
va a
on
liar,
his tail.
se va a liar. Creo que se liaba y bajabas tú a ayudar.
Lame. Who knows? Only a Witcher has a real chance against a healthy Shalmar, and that's not even every Witcher. Besides which, releasing a monster that dangerous in front of a crowd, plain irresponsible.
Tienen que divertirse, Gerardo. Es que no hay otra.
Let's go.
Bueno, Gerardo, Henry. Henry el Magias. Pues ahí que estaba lo de... Bueno, lo puedo ver en algún tutorial seguramente. Lo de las armaduras de Gran Maestro. Si puedo mejorar más la que llevo, estaría guay. Por curiosidad.
I dedicate my imminent victory to fair Lady Vivian.
No sé, a mí me parece bastante innecesario
It's
hacer esto.
begun. The fight shall have to end first. We must wait.
Got a bad feeling about this.
Si no he hecho nada.
Damn it.
Claro. No te has parado a pensar.
We have to help him.
Claro, es que con esa armadura... Es que yo voy con...
Gotta keep it down.
Ah, este no puedes contraatacarlo, vaya. A ver, tiene sentido, ¿no? ¡Loco! Es que es complicado que se levante, ¿eh? Aunque podría usar... ¿Arc? A ver, tengo que esperar a que cargue, espérate. Bueno, claro, si me deja. ¿Qué coño se me está rompiendo ya? ¿En serio? ¿En cuánto se queda? Por cierto. 78, 64. Voy a arreglar los dos. Simplemente porque estén al máximo, ¿eh? Vale, al 100%, 100%. Ah. ¿Dónde va? Para allá. Es complicado porque como es piedra por arriba, rebota la espada, entonces no hacen nada.
The Selma lies defeated by Geralt of Rithia, master of the witchering trade. Behold, as the last gasps of life seep from the beast.
Y encima aplauden como si fuese lo mejor que acaba de pasar, ¿sabes? Y es en plan, casi muere una persona, pero... Ah.
Finish the deed.
Bueno, venga. Total, me da igual realmente.
The monster lies slain. The fight is done. Praised be the victors.
En fin.
Guillaume.
The lad came damned close to dying.
I'm fine. Not hurt at all. Vivian?
Smile as befits a hero and keep silent. Speech clearly pains you. She approaches.
Que viene.
Geralt.
Parecen los Vulturi de la película de Crepúsculo.
Look. Vivian.
You shall talk later, in the medic's tent.
Geralt, magnificent, breathtaking.
Your Grace.
We knew that to summon you was a brilliant idea. We are delighted, ravished to have struck upon it.
And I'm truly honored.
See to our young hero. Hop, hop. For we must make off with Geralt. We should talk. We had been long awaiting your arrival. Had nearly lost hope. Then suddenly, that entrance, so spectacular.
Your Grace, my contract. I'd like to discuss it.
Naturally.
Yo vengo por trabajo. A mí déjame de mierdas. Y he bajado aquí por salvarles. Si no, si me dice el juego de bajar o no, directamente digo no, yo no quiero saber nada.
Come, we must find him.
Pero eres un brujo, así que... No sabe andar, Geralt. No tiene ni puta idea de caminar.
Tell us, have you come alone? Or did Viscount Julian accompany you?
Wish to see Dandelion, Your Grace?
Yes. I mean, no. Yes. But solely to tell him we regret. Yes, deeply regret rescinding the death sentence we so justly handed down upon him.
Ah, bueno.
If we could turn back time, we would make certain he sat in a tower till he rotted. No, we would ensure he was broken on the wheel, then drawn, hanged, and quartered.
Ah, bueno. Jaskier y sus... cosas.
Ah, the very man we would entrust with these tasks. Damien de la Tour, captain of my personal guard.
Your Grace. Witcher.
Greetings. I examined the body of the beast's last victim. Might have found something. Need to analyze it. A quiet place, that's what I could use most right now. And maybe the help of an alchemist or a mage. Also like to hear all you know about the previous victims. Take it Sir de la Tour is my man for that.
Firstly, call me Damien, please. Secondly, you should know I spoke against summoning you here. I've heard much about you. You bring trouble, or thus far have, always. And we've enough trouble as it is. Yet we are capable of defeating the beast on our own, without an outsider's help.
Ah, bueno, pues entonces me voy y te vas.
Damien, we settled the matter of the Witcher's employ some time past. Definitively. Since you have broached it nonetheless, let us discuss Geralt's pay. Are the legends true? Do Witchers usually demand that which you find at home, yet did not expect?
Hombre, no siempre, pero...
Not quite, Your Grace. Law of surprise, it's something we invoke at times, but rarely. Usually we just take gold.
Disappointing. This law sounds rather romantic. On the other hand, on returning to the palace, we
Creo que lo que te dan aquí es la casa, ¿verdad? Porque está el pavo ahí atrás con una escritura y una llave.
I fear you'd not have much use for any of the surprises we are likely to come upon. Thus we've decided you shall receive the deed to a vineyard, Corvo Bianco, and a sum of coin. You will doubtless consider this adequate. Title to the vineyard shall be given to you at once. Surely you'll need lodgings while you hunt. The coin, however, will be yours only once you have slain the beast.
Lovely, generous gesture, Your Grace. But Corvo Bianco, isn't it the Duchy's temporary morgue?
Is it now? The Chancellery's bungled things again, we fear. Not to be left unsupervised for one instant. Yet, in its mood, a morgue should present
Creo que podías mejorar la casa también o algo así. Podías comprar muebles o algo así. Creo, no estoy seguro.
Thank you, Your Grace. I accept the contract, of course. But as I said before, I'll need some information. How'd it start? Who was the first victim?
Crespi was the first to die. He was famed once for his many glorious tournament victories. Then he grew old, hung up his sword, and took to winemaking.
Crespi was not loved by the wine merchants. He was ruthless in business and thought to cheat many a time. He asked us for a dispensation from all court ceremonies. We did not grant it. We could not. Once you've taken the oath of a knight, you remain a knight till death.
How'd he die? Where'd they find the body?
Quite unusual, the circumstance. He was at a feast when suddenly one of his fellow feastgoers noticed he was missing. The town watch found him an hour later. On his hands and knees, propped against the town pillory, his sword hanging from his neck. He had died of wounds inflicted with claws, not a weapon. Blows of great force.
So he died suddenly, but the body was on its knees, meaning someone posed it.
So it seems.
Second murder. Tell me what you know.
In the city there are certain nooks. No one reasonable ventures there after dark. Ramon Dulac's corpse was found in one such place. With the first murder, terror gripped the city. Its inhabitants grew wary, kept to safe areas. Consequently, news of the second victim came to us from a group of concerned cut-purses.
Criminals fear the beast? Telling in a way. Take it you've excluded the possibility that Ramon died at the hands of these bandits.
Do you believe me an amateur? Not hands, but claws killed Ramon Dulac. The wound was deep, clean.
His body was found in the gutter, dressed in nightshirt and cap, a pillow placed under his head, and his sword replaced by a bed warmer. Ramon Dulac, a knight who but a dozen years past was an advisor to our father, the Duke.
Someone went to a lot of trouble to make him look ridiculous. Maybe revenge was the motive.
It's not out of the question. Dulac had shady dealings with the criminal underworld, but no one ever came forth with concrete proof of any misdoings.
So, first two victims were knights, best years behind them.
The same could be said of the third. Sir Delacroix was wont to claim that in modern times knights face new challenges, enterprise being the latest addition to the chivalric virtues.
He made a veritable fortune in the grain trade. Palmerin even nicknamed him Sir de la Stinchi.
Found a coin pouch on his body. Contained florins dating from various times, hailing from different provinces of the Empire.
Delacroix loved coin, true, but had no patience for numismatics.
Sí, yo ya sé que es un vampiro realmente, pero claro, hasta que lo descubramos.
Similarities between the victims.
No creo que pase mucho tiempo, porque luego tienes un par de misiones con el vampiro, así que.
Extraordinary circumstances. Seems the murderer, whoever or whatever it is, has some meaning to convey.
These were honorable men. We are horrified by the disdain, the disrespect with which they were treated. These were knights of Toussaint. Blast it.
Might be the point. From what you say, none was a model of virtue. Ever considered that's what the beast's trying to draw attention to?
All the murdered men were knights who swore fealty to the 5 chivalric virtues. And even if the...
Knights of Toussaint swear fealty to what virtues exactly?
Honor, wisdom, generosity, valor, and compassion.
Beast seems to be pointing up moral decay, denouncing it. Victims were all humiliated. Might have been murdered to emphasize their lack of specific chivalric virtues.
Honor compromised by the pillory. Wisdom by ridicule. Generosity by a coin pouch shoved down a throat. It seems to fit, true, though not perfectly.
Can't discount the theory if it's on the lips of everyone in town. Say our reasoning's right. Next murder will be just as showy and denounce the victim's lack of the fourth virtue, valor. We can also assume that victim will be an elder knight.
Let's think. At the moment, all the knights are either at the tourney grounds or in the palace gardens. Our annual hare hunt shall begin there shortly. Have you heard of the custom?
Milton mentioned something. Seemed excited to prance around in a bunny costume. Not sure why. Hang on. Strange circumstances. A knight advanced in years. The famed cowardice of rabbits.
Could it be that simple? Is Milton de Peyrac-Peyren the next victim?
Milton also knew Delacroix. Told me so down by the river.
Damien! To miss something so obvious. De Peyrac-Peyren, Crespi, Delacroix, and Delac formed a knightly team. It was years ago, but...
Your Grace, we need to find Milton, immediately.
Rather problematic. You see, the garden entertainments are due to start, and he's disguised as the hare, hiding somewhere, waiting for some tipsy courtiers to find him. The hare's hiding place is a carefully guarded secret.
We must call off the game, at once.
First and foremost, we must remain calm. Damien, order the garden searched immediately, but discreetly. By no means can we disrupt the festivities. Panic will only incite the beast to strike sooner. And you, Witcher, follow me. My gardens, my night, I shall take the fall. A murder is out of the question. I will not allow it. Not near my palace.
Joder, palacio.
Ready our horses.
Palacio, dice, ¿sabes? Un poco más y tienes un castillo con 47.000 habitaciones, ¿sabes? De las cuales usas una.
Your Grace.
Al por culo. ¿Eh? La ha molado.
What the hell? Why, I should... Your Highness,
Mind it doesn't get wrinkled.
Es que va mucho mejor así que con la mierda de la falda esa. ¡Fuera del camino! ¡Ansias! Se ha quitado la chaqueta, es como... ¡Ah! ¿Qué ha hecho? Chico, que se ha quitado la mierda esa.
That is silk. Be careful. Give it to me.
Claro, ¿para qué te acercas? Te lo podías haber llevado. Claro, es que piensa poco. Piensa muy poco. Es que me gusta Tuisant, tío. Es que me mola cantidad el mapa de Tuisant. O sea, el diseño que tiene, me refiero, visual, me encanta, tío. Está súper colorido con las amapolas esas. Hay plantas violetas por ahí. Es que es tan colorido.
Your Grace seems right at home in the saddle.
Clear a path. Clear the way, I said.
Ya ves, como para tener que subir esto todos los putos días.
Just round the corner.
Hurry.
We must go to where the game is being held. The participants must find a unicorn's horn, a golden fish, and a phoenix.
¡Corre, señora!
With these in hand, they can deduce where the hare, Milton, hides.
Mean we need to find those things too.
We've no other option, but time is of the essence, so we shall have to break the rules.
Me hace mucha gracia el juego, tío. A ver.
On second thought, through here. I shall show you where the hunt plays out. Then we will split up. You will get hold of the unicorn horn and the golden fish, while I nab the phoenix egg. That will be quickest.
El pez dorado. Tiempo para... ese, yo qué sé.
Golden fish. Do I need a rod or a net?
Please, Geralt. It's not a real fish. Look there, towards the water. See the lights? The hunters are trying to hook the fish from boats. You must simply dive in and find it.
Vale.
The unicorn. How do I catch it?
It's terribly skittish, true, but I'm sure you will find a way to earn its trust. It runs around over there, look.
Es un caballo simplemente con un
The
cuerno.
golden fish and the horn both contain things or clues that will help us find Milton. Once you have fish and horn, find me among the other Phoenix egg hunters.
Me mola la música de fondo, que se está poniendo todo como muy tenso. Iba a decir, si me tiro por aquí me mato, ¿verdad? Sí. Que no quiero, cállate, coño. ¿A por qué vamos primero? ¿A por el caballo?
Perhaps an apple will work. Or some sweets.
We would not be in this predicament, dear sister, were you still a virgin.
Do you really
bueno.
wish to have this conversation again? Here and now?
Sutil, ¿no?
Or you'll spook the beast. We should try the sweets.
Hey, folks. Gonna have to ruin your fun. Sorry.
Who's that?
Vaya por Dios.
Come on, stay calm.
Qué complicado era.
Calm down. Easy now.
Vamos a por el pez.
That's hardly fair.
Flagrant cheating is what it is.
Sirs, we must teach this scamp some proper sportsmanship.
Listen, I didn't break any rules.
True, he won fair and square.
We were unlucky, that's all.
We must try to grab the next clue.
Ah, toma por culo. Ni te molestas, O sea, tienes poderes y no los usas. O sea, los usas simplemente para para chorradas como estas, ¿sabes? Es lo que me hace gracia de este juego. Tienes poderes, no los usas. Los usas para tonterías más que otra cosa.
Golden fish should be easy to spot once I'm under.
Y yo.
What the blazes? Did someone just dive in the water? Perhaps that's the way to do it.
No sé cuál es este, ¿no? Un caramelo. Ok. ¿Qué es este, el pez dorado? Ah, iba a decir, eso es dorado, ¿verdad?
Hey, wait. Stop. It's important.
Que me lo des. Asquerosa.
King Cormorant, sire, accept this offering we bring. Prithee cast upon us your merciful eye, and bear before us its secrets.
As the moon is heavenly coursed of trace, in my domain I await that moment of grace, when a soul of good or ill repute brings me a gift, fitting tribute.
A key.
Sutil. O sea, te la has sudado. Has llegado, lo has cogido y lo has roto. Y tú, a tomar por culo. A mí lo que me hace gracia es que yo he tenido que ir a por 2 y la señora ha tenido que ir a por 1, ¿sabes? Es lo que a mí me hace gracia. Y... ¡chink! Unicornio, entre comillas. Sí, yo realmente sé dónde tengo que ir, pero... hay que seguir las misiones del juego. Hala.
If you please, Your Grace.
We do not please. We act out of the highest necessity. All shall be explained later.
But it's against the rules.
I am the rules. Geralt! At last.
Got a key and a clue.
And I've another. Show me yours. Who wrote this drivel? I begin like a crone, hollowed out with ease, then end like a mouse, with a head of hard cheese.
¿Es una cueva, la despensa, el invernadero, un sitio estrecho? No tengo ni idea. ¿Es una cueva? Creo que es una cueva.
Rooms, hollows. Could be a cave, I guess.
Now that's just silly.
¿No?
Look, if we take Rome, hollow it out and fill it with ease, the letters, that is, we get green. Then mouse, but starting with what heads hard cheese. Why, it's
Un
greenhouse.
invernadero. Bueno.
Pretty clever. And it sounds right to me.
There are several greenhouses in the gardens, but only one with a door that locks, and the key to it looks just like the one we found.
Greenhouse it is then. Let's go.
Ah, sutil, ¿sabes?
Wait here.
Ve, no seas tonta, quédate ahí, ve. Más tonta es ella que se queda parada.
What the butch?
What was that?
Eso no vale, son trampas. Son trampas trampitas, no vale. Joder, el que sí me apetece pasarme es el Cyberpunk. Ese sí me apetece pasármelo otra vez, pero seguramente me pase siendo corpo.
I'm here.
This belonged to you, maybe?
It did, but you may keep it. I've a new one. I do not know you. I've done you no harm. Yet first you butchered a Bruxer who was dear to me. Now you pursue me. Why?
You've killed 4 innocent people, at least.
And you? How many innocents have you cut down?
Plenty. Even more of the guilty, though. You're next.
Te he dicho la verdad, así que...
I think not. You see, I've something to do still.
More murders?
Just one. Not counting yours.
Un putísimo vampiro, ¿eh? Joder, me lo rompe al instante.
You want to stay where you were. Regenerate.
I know you're in trouble. I can help.
I'll help myself.
No, he's my friend.
Random, Bastante random el boquete que le ha hecho ahí en el costadito, ¿no?
Yes, Geralt, it's me.
Regis? You alright?
All is well. All's in order. Wounds such as these heal on vampires in moments. But we've not seen one another in ages, my friend. At least in human terms, that is.
How's this even possible? Last I saw you...
I was a bubbling, shapeless smear, having been rather spectacularly melted into a column of a certain castle. In somewhat better shape now, as you can see. Hardly peak form, mind you, but were I human, folk would think me a demigod, I dare say.
I'm sorry. What happened? It was my fault. Never got a chance to apologize.
No need, Geralt. Bygones. I did not have to join you on that expedition. No one twisted my arm.
Local serial killer seems to obey you. Maybe you could talk him out of it, convince him to stop murdering.
Why do you think I've come? It shall not be easy, as Dettlaff can be rather stubborn. Though you must certainly recall that neither do I.
Joder, me apetece también jugar al Skyrim.
So that's his name.
Bastante, además.
Friend?
Pero después de este me apetece jugar a pocos juegos así que sean largos. Por el momento, durante un tiempo.
Bestial than I am. But not to worry. I'm working on him.
Haven't exactly done a great job with that. He's killed one knight since I got here. At least 3 others before I arrived.
For good reason, I'm sure. Understand, Dettlaff is not some decadent shit who kills for sport, or to assuage a dryness of throat or a dullness of mood.
So in your opinion, what are his reasons?
Precisely what I wish to find out. And then I will convince him of the error of his ways.
Got a lot of faith in the guy.
Despite appearances to the contrary, you two are quite alike. You've both noble hearts, yet you both are wont to perform ignoble deeds. When circumstances force you to, of course. Remember the year 964?
That was 3 centuries ago.
Blind fear gripped Rivia, Lyria, and Spala. Women and children were dying. Their mutilated, dismembered corpses littered the fields.
Brute of Lyria. Read about it. Chewed up almost 200, then fell to a common poacher supposedly armed with a dagger blessed by some prophet.
It fell to Dettlaff, who then found a poacher asleep in the brush near his snares and dropped the fiend's corpse at his feet. And thus, a legend was born.
Ah, bueno.
Vampires rarely help humans. Must have had his own agenda, hunting the beast.
You err. He slew it for one reason alone. The monster killed a lad who once, in the street, had offered Dettlaff an apple, expecting nothing in return.
Terribly noble of him.
You do not have a monopoly on altruism, my friend. Vilgefortz melted my body. Dettlaff found what was left. As per our codex, he had a choice. To leave me where I was, or to care for me and nurture my remains. He chose the latter. Regenerated me at no small expense in his own blood. Do you know what that means to a vampire? The gravity of the endeavor?
Probably same thing it means to a human. You owe him your life.
Much more than that. The act itself made us blood brethren. A bond so strong humans cannot even imagine.
Pues que está un poco irregular el otro, si tampoco hay que darle tanta vuelta. Creo que al final, dependiendo de qué es lo que hagas, creo que al final puedes decidir, creo que no pelear con él, como que le convences. O creo que si fallas, pues te pegas con el bicho. Creo, ¿eh? Bueno, voy a echar un trago de agua mientras que termina la conversación.
He prefers the company of lesser vampires and shuns that of humans. If he walks among you, killing egregiously, it can only mean something's upset him immensely.
Gotta find him before something upsets him even more, and all Beauclair is awash with blood.
Well, we share a cause then, just like the old days.
Not entirely. I mean, when I find him, you know.
I know you've a contract on his head. Yet your true task is to stop the beast killing, not necessarily to kill the beast, am I right?
All in all, sure.
Let us find him.
Claro, si conseguimos que deje de matar, técnicamente es como, ¿sabéis?
Fine, all right already. But for now, evidence is stacking up against him.
Hear that?
The posse. Knights must have tracked me here.
I prefer they not find me here. I've makeshift quarters at Mère Lachaise Long Cemetery. We'll meet there.
See you.
Pues ya simplemente transformarse en un murciélago y ya está.
Witcher, we flew here as fast as our courses would carry us. Yet I fear we're late all the same. Pray, where is the beast?
Still investigating. About to inspect this site. Withdraw your men before they trample all over the evidence.
Sirs, we must let the Witcher do his work. Milton's murder cannot go unavenged.
Vale, ¿puedo hacer un viaje rápido hasta donde está? Que como técnicamente hice no. Tengo un mod que lo que me permite es el fast travel me permite, o sea, tiene también lo de que me desbloquea todos los iconos del mapa. O sea, aparte de desbloquearme lo de poder viajar rápido sin problema, pues me desbloquea también lo de tiene aparte el que me desbloquea todo. Había que entrar por aquí. Es que es un ghoul, no sé qué espada es. Bueno, yo saco esto. Ah, que hay más. Supongo que se entra por aquí, no lo sé, ¿eh? La puerta del otro lado está cerrada, así que creo que tienes que entrar por aquí.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind. But we did not meet so I could prove how very original I am.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Detlef wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abraxa had taken an interest in it.
Para coger el rico power. Cuidado que se enerva, ¿eh?
It's Detlef's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
¿Para qué quieres la mano?
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kermorin, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Detlef was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Detlef's hideout.
Ring's pretty intriguing.
Es gracioso porque a mí esto no me interesa. Si con que me pongas esta en amarilla para avanzarme, vale. Por favor. ¿Cómo no va a ser largo este juego? Es imposible. Ahora voy a mirar por qué misión voy. Más o menos para hacerme una idea. Pero vamos, supongo que me llevará 5 o 6 horas pasármelo. Pasarme el DLC entero, lo más probable.
Precisely. And the reason why I, in turn, gave it to Detlef. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Kovinaris spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Detlef's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
Sutil.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned, him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Bebamos, total, no hay que hacer mucho.
Say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
Tengo muchos secretos.
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask indirectly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just passed.
Maybe you should go first. Reveal one of your secrets. After all, you vampires lead very interesting lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
No me interesa tirarme 3 horas aquí preguntándote.
Plenty of questions I'd like to ask, but let's postpone any longer conversations until things calm down.
Unable to focus your thoughts at the moment, I understand. I too am anxious to know the news.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment.
Volverá, es como Terminator. Volverá el pájaro en algún momento, no os preocupéis.
Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Estaría guapo que te convirtieses. Pero que yo sepa, ¿no?
Far as I know, none. Now what you got for me?
Hombre, es que técnicamente creo que no te metieron ningún mutágeno de el tema de vampiro. O sea, no puedes volar, no puedes hacer cosas como los vampiros. Puedes tener a lo mejor alguna habilidad, pero creo que no. Quiero recordar que no.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the whites survived entirely unmolested.
¿Es eso de una maldición? Porque no quiero preguntarte, que no me interesa saber opciones.
They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
No, deje de comprarse cosas. Mira que se lo he dicho.
Covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Gracias. Joder, que solamente quería la respuesta amarilla, ¿eh?
Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later.
¿Ya? ¿Puedo ir a la casa embrujada esa? Que no se compre nada, cansado.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
Opcional del bestiario para informar sobre las criaturas moteadas. Voy sin tener ni idea. Pues ahora, para adelante. A 500 metros, viaje rápido. Que no se compre nada. Si se compre ya le he dicho lo que iba a hacer. Usted decide. Como te lo gastes, ya te he dicho lo que iba a hacer. Así que tú sabrás lo que quieres hacer. Loco, casco de perros. Los Magic Dog. Los vamos a llamar ahora. Uy, me han quitado la mitad de la vida. Me quedo con 1200 pavos. Escúchame, haz lo que te dé la gana. La consecuencia de que te gastes lo que... Ya sabes cuál es. Si te quieres comprar la skin, cómpratela. Ya sabes la consecuencia que hay después. Tú mismo.
Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Sounds like a curse, all right.
Mira que de jeroglíficos.
Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around. What a pigsty. Need to search.
¿Qué bestia era? No me acuerdo.
Find a way to collect some white saliva. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred.
Me va a tocar investigar todo. Madre mía.
Spoons in
Me voy a morir.
The craftsmanship must have graced a rich man's table.
Un libro. Lo voy a coger así y así ya pues que me dan cosas nuevas.
Realized she was changing into a monster. Recorded it in her diary. Poignant. Smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves. The monster. Journal's author, maybe?
Vale, ¿esto está en la habitación o está...? No. ¿Está aquí? Ah, vale, sí, iba a decir, está aquí. Pero todas las marquitas de la pared lo ha hecho con cucharas. Loco, el monstruo de las cucharas. No me jodas. Hay algo aquí. A ver, por favor, solo quiero encontrarla.
Actually does seem like a white's lair. Bit atypical, but still. Cauldron should be somewhere around here. Cauldron I was looking for. White's not particularly tidy. Thousands of them here. White's been a collector for years.
Se necesita una llave, vale, esto seguramente... Vale, esta llave creo que estaba en la habitación esta de aquí de la izquierda.
Spoon, pretty ordinary, maybe a little old.
Quiero recordar que estaba aquí a la izquierda. Creo, A lo mejor me estoy equivocando.
White, who lives here, is getting ready for some sort of feast. Cauldron's empty, unfortunately. Regis needs some brew. Afraid he won't get that. No choice but to hide and wait for the saliva glands and their bearer. Need a spot that'll let me observe the cauldron.
Ah, vale, esto es armadura.
Yep, just as normal as the last one.
Sutil, ¿no? Vamos a esconder en el armario para esperar al monstruo, es maravilloso. A mí lo que me hace gracia el pavo este es que tiene una paciencia que flipas. O sea, se mete, se duerme, medita y ya está. Y cuando oye un crujido del dedo, de cuando viene el bicho, de repente, ¿ves? Se vuelve a activar, ¿sabes? O sea, es como que recarga pilas. Es una cosa loca, ¿eh? ¿Para qué huye? Se va a morir.
Damn it. Gotta catch it. Seems I'll have to kill the white in its own jungle.
Ah, bueno. Se llama coleccionista de cucharas. Uy. Ah, bueno, que tiene la capacidad de meterme en la mierda, ¿es? ¿What? Ah, vale, que es porque ha desaparecido. Vale, está casi ya, ¿What? ¿Y ese saltito? ¿Qué mierda? ¿Y el saltito ese que ha hecho al final? Curioso. Me ha hecho gracia simplemente, vaya. Vale, ya está. El monstruo de las cucharas. Sutil, vaya. Vale, pues nada, ya nos hemos cargado al bicho. Pues volvamos. Ah, bueno, es verdad, he dicho que iba a mirar a ver por qué misión. ¿Por qué misión iba, verdad? Vale, se llama pasar el trance. A ver, un segundo. Yo lo tengo aquí. Pasar el trance. Vale. Pues ahora me imagino que ahora terminaremos esta misión. Nos queda, dime quién te limpia las botas y te diré quién eres, el vino sagrado, el hombre de Cintra, la toma del castillo y la noche de los colmillos negros. Y ya está. Con eso prácticamente hemos terminado. A no ser que prácticamente no me apetezca jugar mucho más. Llevamos 1 hora y 45. A lo mejor hago 2 horas y media, 3 horas. Y mañana nos quitamos el resto y ya está, ¿eh? O luego más tarde, me refiero. Yo voy a jugar, pues, todo lo que pueda. Hasta que me canse, vaya. Pero pues de momento quiero jugar. Y si es posible pasármelo entero, mejor. Pero no prometo nada.
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from the hand. It will suffice to prepare some resonance.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it, as our codex commands. A raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Pretty helpful creatures. Call on them often?
I try not to overdo it. But they can be so useful, as they were now, when I merely needed to be sure I could arrive in time should things go sour.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned a last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but, alas, none such exists.
Not sure I understand what the problem is. Can't we just draw some of your blood?
The blood must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so does our blood's
Todos son problemas.
composition.
Toda tontería.
To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity. And that stands to be very, very dangerous.
All right, so what do you want to do?
We shall visit Tesha Mudna, an ancient vampire estate. There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. You will lure beasts there. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse.
Abundant enough so that the blood scent will drive me mad. Wild.
Yo no lo veo, pero venga, vale.
What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust for human blood that in one night he could imbibe an entire village. This brought trouble on the entire species. Common folk wearied quickly of living in constant fear. They began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and witches in tracking us down.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the dungeons of Teshamutna. Inside it, a cage made entirely of a special alloy of silver, dalvinite, and meteorite steel. Kagmar was captured and locked in the cage. Sat there over 2 centuries, driven to fury time after time, never able to escape. Thus I know the cage will withstand the fury to which we shall drive my humble being.
See no reason to dawdle. Teshamutna. Take me there.
In a moment. Just one last thing.
What was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some sangurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. One drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt. But you must remain calm. I have no
Hombre,
choice.
tienen que alimentarse, ¿no?
As things stand, the die is cast. High time we set off for Teshamutna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
And you're starting to scare me.
Loco, no deberías asustarte. Ha dicho 3 siglos, ¿sabes? O sea, el pavo este tiene 500 años. Nosotros, me refiero, no el vampiro. No sé cuántos años tiene Geralt, en realidad. Pero supongo que unos cuantos tendrá, eso seguro. Qué guapa la sincronización ahí,
We
¿eh?
have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
You lead. Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger. Beyond this wall lies
an ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
How the hell?
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to...
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout. Fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once. Toussaint.
Por favor, quiero ir rápido.
During the conjunction, the gate from our world...
¿Te ha quedado parado? Joder, que tengo que seguir al otro. Madre que me parió, tío. Joder, ¿cómo no se va a hacer largo, tío? Tengo que seguir al puto vampiro este. Joder, que tengo que seguir al vampiro este. Pues no me voy a tirar para terminar esto.
Cells? Who for?
Ah, disgraceful. Excruciatingly so, this particular page from our history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
Ahora ves que el cadáver del otro sigue ahí dentro. No, ni lo han quitado.
But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They treated them like livestock, live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time, deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could have done about it. Let's get to work.
Well, that was awkward. Fine. I prepared the bait. Please be so kind and place it, ideally at the tunnel entrances. The scent will spread most effectively then.
Y claro, a mí me va a tocar pegarme con ellos, claro.
Catch its scent more quickly.
When I think how these tunnels got here, sends shivers.
¿Dónde lo pongo? Me estaba dudando, digo, ¿dónde lo pongo?
3 done, 1 left. Think this'll work?
Stench is so thick, I'd wager it carries clear to Novigrad.
Vale. Dale.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside. The bars are made of an alloy that will prevent me from transforming into mist.
Kinda thought you wouldn't want to.
I shall be in great pain. My sole thought being to stop that pain. I cannot know what I will do. We must hurry. The beasts have caught the scent, also my head. I started spinning.
That the blood?
Ya está ahí quieto sin moverte.
Does not know the true meaning of thirst.
Ahora se va a poner tenso.
Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what would you do once I uttered it?
Don't know. Calm you down. Somehow.
Please, girl. You won't be able to. You must forge through.
Este flota. Joder.
We just have smelled the blood.
Ah, bueno.
Good, because I can hear more.
Imagínate hacer esto en difícil.
Hold on, I'll let you out.
¿Ya? Ya está, solo querías un poco de sangre.
Need to hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother me anymore.
Y ya está, y te pones enfrente y te echas la siesta.
Get you out of here.
The concoction.
Está un poco regular, ¿eh?
You can't finish it in this state. Tell me how. I'll help you.
Lo bueno que tiene es que está siendo así como entre comillas bastante rápido, así que...
Any better?
Far from ideal. And some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
Resonance. It's ready.
Are you certain you followed the formula? The proportions were exact, the brewing time precise. This is important, Geralt. The slightest deviation could cost even a witcher dearly.
Relax. Got some experience brewing potions.
No, tampoco te creas porque yo no he hecho pociones.
In that case, let's begin.
Ahora te bebes un chupito de esos. Son un poco raras las animaciones del señor Henry.
Excuse me. I shall only take a moment. You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting. The Count...
Sir, you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Ah, fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
Claro, que te vuelves malo porque te obligan.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the stand. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Detlef?
¿Cómo no va a matar gente?
And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh? But at least I've a yarn to spin for friends and associates.
Forgive me.
What?
Ah, bueno. Sutil. Joder, para nada es sospechoso llevar esas uñas, ¿no?
Awake at last. You ride like a squirrel caught in a snare. I'd begun to fear they were death throes, that you'd departed.
Casi te mueres.
Sure wasn't pleasant, but it worked.
What did you see?
Delacroix. His death did not come easy. Seems Detloff had made friends with him. Still killed him, and chopped up his corpse. And he was overcome with fury, remorse. Cut off the hand that had committed the murder.
Interesting. And entirely unlike the Detloff I know. See anything else?
There was something. Showed up twice in the vision. A bootblack stand. Detloff first met Delacroix there. Went back after the murder, actually.
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere in the port district. And the bootblack acted as if he knew Detloff.
That would be even odder. Perhaps we should have a chat with the lad. Though I would expect no breakthroughs.
It's our only lead. I'll go talk to him. Coming with.
I shall join you later if it's no trouble. I don't yet feel strong enough to venture out.
That's fair. Rest up. Be back as soon as I learn anything.
Vale. Vale, vamos a hacer ahora la misión de las botas. Supongo que hay algunas que son más rápidas que otras, pero bueno. Supongo que se nos irán más o menos... Llevamos 2 horas. Supongo que se nos irán 2 horas y media, 3. Más o menos. Vale, esto del limpiabotas estaba...
Bootblacks don't usually work nights. Need to come back during the day.
So how would you explain it? Whether it pours for a week or the sun bakes our pates, we've always mud up to our ankles here.
You can't blame me for Beauclair's fickle weather.
Fickle weather? I've seen you. You empty your chamber pot in front of our shop each morn, so folks will dirty their boots, go to you to get them cleaned.
A far-fetched conspiracy theory, sirs.
I'll conspire to welt your bum with my belt. Come here.
Leave him alone.
Just who the spit are you?
A witcher, and I'd advise you to go back where you came from.
I thought witches defend men from monsters, not cheats from justice.
Need to talk to the boy.
You can chat to him all you like, after we tan his hide. So stand down.
Parece ser que cada vez que... Parece ser que cuando te preguntan quién eres y tú un brujo es como... Ah, vale, eres un brujo, venga, vale, no la suda, ¿sabes? Es en plan... Saben perfectamente lo que puedo hacer, rollo de... Pero se lo pasa por el mismísimo Ford. Es maravilloso. Lo que no sé si me ha creado un archivo o sigo emitiendo en el mismo. No estoy seguro. O sea, no lo sé, ¿eh? A ver. Lo raro es que no se haya cerrado. Vale, estoy grabando la pantalla. No estoy grabando el juego, ¿eh? ¿Veis? Porque el juego está en negro. Así que estoy grabando la pantalla. No creo que salte ninguna notificación, pero por si acaso. Supongo que esto será un ratillo, ¿vale? Hasta que ya pueda cambiarlo. Pero la madre que me parió.
What's the meaning of this? The brawl? Who started it?
Lo bueno que tiene es que me ha dejado reconectar porque no me dejaba. O sea, he tenido que forzar 3 veces el OBS a cerrarlo, así que. Pero bueno.
These men, what are they doing?
Obstructing my investigation.
Understood. Right. A few days in the clink ought to teach them not to impede official duchy business.
Hombre, tampoco es para tanto, pero bueno. Ahora supongo que en algún momento cambiaré otra vez a la esta de juego, vaya, pero...
You're very good with your fists, sir.
Se escucha bien, ¿no? A la esta de juego, vaya, pero...
You're very good.
Vale, sí. Quiero decir, no, que no sé si sabía...
Wouldn't be looking for work, would you? We'd make a fine duo.
Listen, I'm interested in a certain
A
gentleman.
ver, que no pasa nada, yo vuelvo a lo mismo. Mientras que me deje...
Before we get to talking, please, take a seat.
Mientras que me deje reconectar, que no me cree...
In this city, no boots are clean unless they just come off my stand.
Mientras que me deje reconectar no hay ningún problema, realmente. Es una putada, son 90 segundos. Pero hay veces que no me... Hay veces, no es coña, ¿vale? Hay veces que cuando se crashea el OBS tienes 90 segundos. Hay veces que a los 10 segundos directamente el directo se cierra. Aunque yo intente reconectar, el directo se cierra y me genera un directo nuevo. Aunque tengas 90 segundos.
Indeed. I hear a faint
Pero bueno.
bell ringing. A modest sum might make it sing out loud and clear.
How much?
Let's say 500 crowns.
What? Gotta be kidding me. What would you even do with that kind of coin?
Expand my venture. I'm sure you can imagine. Have a proper stand with a big sign. I want a new box too. New polishes, new brushes. And if I've enough coin left, I'll buy a share in a launderer's. Get wastewater for free.
Got it all planned out.
I should think so. Capital is all I require.
Joder, para ser un niño, ¿sabes? Sí, sí. Tengo dinero de sobra, o sea, le puedo dar si quiero todo. Ah, no puedo yo subir más. Joder, yo quiero subir más. O sea, yo quería darle más.
Ah, see? I knew we'd clinch it.
Yo quería darle más.
Fine. Guess I can agree to that.
1,000 thanks. I shan't forget it. Now to the matter at hand. I know the
Ahora cuando termine la conversación, mira a ver si puedo cambiar al... En vez de la pantalla, al juego, ¿vale?
Gets his boots cleaned every few days. He's very good to me. Always pays me a premium.
Know where I might find him?
No, but you could wait here. Perhaps he'll stop by.
Don't have the time for that. Sure you don't know where to find him? Or maybe notice which direction he came from?
When I clean boots, sir, I do not look up to see where folk come from. I clean.
It seems you're having a rough go of it.
Oh, you're here.
Es un vampiro, pero puede estar al sol. Tuti.
Local necropolis. The air does wonders for me.
O sea, yo te juro que no lo entiendo, tío. De verdad, ¿eh? O sea, me gustaría comprender, sinceramente, no lo digo de coña, ¿vale? Me gustaría comprender qué es lo que yo estoy haciendo mal para que pete tanto el OBS, tío. O sea, es que no lo entiendo. He bajado la calidad del bitrate, he bajado la de... He bajado la calidad de 36 a 16. Tío, o sea, lo estoy bajando para que tire lo menos posible. ¿Qué cojones le pasa al puto OBS que peta tanto? Que me crashea tanto. O sea, no lo entiendo. Y es que encima lo más gracioso... O sea, lo más gracioso es que me pongo en contacto con la página web del OBS. Me he puesto en contacto varias veces diciéndole, por favor, me pasa esto, ¿me podéis echar una mano a ver qué es lo que pasa? No me han dado respuesta. De las 4 o 5 veces que he intentado contactar con ellos, no me han dado respuesta. O sea, eso es para que os fijéis literalmente ¿cómo decirlo? El feedback que tiene a lo mejor con la gente, ¿sabes? Yo estoy teniendo un problema. 5 o 6 mensajes que les he enviado no han sido capaces de responderme y decir, oye, pues mira, no lo sabemos, vamos a investigarlo, tal, no sé qué, no sé cuánto. ¿Sabéis lo que quiero decir? Nada, es que no me han dado respuesta en ninguno de ellos, tío. Y si uso este programa y si uso el OBS es simplemente porque es gratuito. Ojo, ¿eh? El programa es gratuito, que no tienes que pagar nada por usarlo. Pero es que, tío, no tiene sentido que me crashee tantas veces. O sea, me ha crasheado una vez, vale, me ha crasheado una vez, puede pasar, puede ocurrir. Vale, me ha crasheado una vez y a los 5 minutos vuelve a crashear otra vez. ¿Por qué? O sea, no hay nada ahora. O sea, en el ordenador ahora mismo no hay nada. Está el juego y está el OBS. Es que no hay nada más. O sea, no hay nada más ejecutándose en el PC. Como para que diga, joder, es que estoy sobresaturando al ordenador. No, tío, solamente está el juego y está el OBS. Pero como la gente que trabaja en esto del OBS no me da respuesta, pues no puedo hacer nada. Porque no sé qué es lo que le pasa. O sea, como no sé por qué crashea el OBS y los del OBS no me dan respuesta, no sé qué hacer, no sé qué más hacer. O sea, he bajado ya más la calidad. O sea, he bajado de 1080 a 60 FPS que lo hacía antes a 1080 a 30. Ahora sigue estando en 1080, me refiero. Y a 30, pero he bajado los lanzos de 36 a 16 para que no es que se vea más borroso, ni se ve mal. Se ve bien, pero carga menos, por decirlo así. Entonces, sinceramente, es que no sé qué es lo que le pasa ya. O sea, el problema realmente de que crashee tanto, no sé por qué es. Pero lo gracioso es que si me dices, joder, es que cada vez que abro el OBS estoy una hora y crashea y me pasa todos los días que hago directo, lo puedo entender, pero a lo mejor ahora mismo me ha ocurrido dos crasheos y a lo mejor hasta dentro de una semana no me vuelve a crashear. O sea, que no es algo que sea puntual. ¿Sabes lo que quiero decir? O sea, que sea todos los días, es algo puntual. Rollo, me pasa una vez hoy y hasta dentro de 7 días no me vuelve a pasar. Entonces, no sé qué es, tío. Yo ya, sinceramente, no sé qué es. Yo lo tengo muy claro, que voy a empezar a acabar juegos que tengo abiertos y en el momento que ya no tenga ningún juego abierto, que diga, venga, vale, tal, se acabó esta mierda, tío. Porque cada vez que grabo directo, lo único que hace esta mierda de que crashee es cabrearme, pero si crashea una vez, o sea, si crashea una vez yo reconecto y continuamos sin ningún problema, pero si a los 5 minutos me vuelves a crashear otra vez, pues entonces ya me empiezo a cabrear. Y ya juego de otra manera, o sea, ya no juego a gusto como estaba. Ahora ya, por ejemplo, ya ha crasheado 2 veces y vuelve a crashear una tercera vez, ya me voy a cabrear más todavía y ya voy a jugar de otra manera. Ese es el problema. Uy, perdón. Que no he activado lo del volumen del juego, perdón. Menos mal que me he dado cuenta. O sea, tío, es que no tiene sentido, macho. ¿Me crasheas una vez? Vale, puede pasar. Puede ser que un programa no funcione correctamente. Perfecto, claro. Pero no a los 5 minutos, una vez que se ha reiniciado, a los 5 minutos me vuelvas a crashear otra vez, porque es que no tiene sentido. Es que no sé qué más ponerle. Le pongo permisos de administrador, le pongo más potencia, o sea, me refiero en los ajustes del OBS pongo la potencia en general que pilla, lo pongo al máximo. Creo que está al máximo. O sea, realmente el OBS cuando estoy en directo utiliza el máximo del PC para que no le pase nada. Es que ya no sé qué más hacer, sinceramente. No sé qué más hacer. Bueno, sí lo sé. Dejar de hacer directos porque estoy hasta las narices de que crashee y a los 5 minutos vuelva a crashear otra vez. Ese es el problema que tengo realmente. Porque si crashea, lo he dicho, si crashea una vez y continuamos, si no hay ningún problema, genial. Pero si crashea y a los 5 minutos vuelve a crashear y ahora dentro de 5 minutos vuelve a crashear otra vez, pues entonces me cabreo y ya directamente ni me voy a molestar en hacer directos. Voy a acabar este juego, acabo el Returnal, acabo un par de juegos más que tengo por ahí pendientes y ya está, y a tomar por culo. Es la única solución, dejar de hacer directos y ya está. Y me paso los juegos tranquilamente, a mi ritmo, y si quiero jugar 2 horas, juego 2 horas, y si me apetece jugar 10 minutos, juego 10 minutos. Porque no voy a hacer un directo de 10 minutos, sería absurdo, ¿sabes lo que quiero decir? Entonces, claro.
I considered it briefly, but ultimately concluded it would be terribly dull. Come.
Bueno, vamos a ver qué pasa. Como vuelva a crashear, no vuelvo a abrir directo. Ya hasta mañana o luego más tarde no me lo paso el juego. Y lo dicho, voy a mirar a ver qué juegos tengo por ahí pendientes y con las mismas nos los pasamos y se acabó el hacer directos. O sea, paso, tío, porque cada vez que me pongo a hacer un directo siempre estoy pensando de ¿va a crashear hoy? En serio, no es coña. O sea, siempre que abro directo, lo primero que pienso es ¿va a crashear hoy la mierda de programa este? Lo primero que pienso. Según le estoy dando a iniciar transmisiones, lo primero que pienso. ¿Petará hoy?
Old toy. No use to anyone. Shame. Must have brought someone joy sometime.
Ahora ya estoy mirando constantemente como un poseído el OBS para que no pase nada.
So this is his nest. Need to look around. Woman's likeness. Bit smudged. This his lover?
I don't rightly know.
Reminds me of someone. Not sure. Can't help feeling I've seen that face before, though. Tools were used recently. Detloff unwind by fixing toys between murders.
Oye, y ahora el teléfono de mierda no me detecta la huella, tío. Es que también, vaya tela de teléfono. Vaya asco. Vale, ¿ya?
Nice tune.
Indeed. Not certain why, but it reminds me of home. Our true home from before the conjunction of spheres.
Registra la juguetería, pero coño, ya registrado. Iba a decir, ya he registrado la esta, no, vale, que me falta.
You do not know us, but we know you to be a vampire. We know also of your weakness for the wench they call Renowed. Now you know this. We shall chain her down and let rats feed on her. We shall flay the skin from her flesh. Yet you can save her. You need but travel to Beauclair, where you shall slay 5 men in the manner we prescribe. You must complete the killing in 3 days. Fail, and the next letter you receive will contain a memento of your failure. Your beloved's finger.
There you have it. Proof positive Detlav killed not of his own accord. A blackmailer sunk his claws into him.
Who's Renowed?
His one-time lover. The sole human woman with whom he was very close. Because she accepted him. With her aid and care, he found a place for himself in this hostile world. She began the work that I strive to continue.
Ever meet her?
Never had the pleasure, alas. She deserted him a time before he came around to save me, though he always claimed she'd gone missing.
Take it you have your doubts.
I know humans better than he does. Their capacity to be disloyal, dishonest. I also know she took her things. Not something one associates with the kidnapped, or those who disappear against their will.
I'll save you the trouble of asking. No, I don't know why she left. I can, however, hazard a guess that Detlef grew angry one day, showed another, more monstrous side. Detlef's anger could frighten anyone off, though most who see it get no chance to flee.
Detlef have trouble letting go, accepting that she'd left him?
Is that so hard to believe? Do you know no humans who've struggled with just such a thing?
And Detlef is so much more emotional than most humans.
Not only was she his beloved, his lover, his mate, she was a member of his pack. And one never leaves one's pack voluntarily.
Madre mía, lo de las conversaciones son eternas.
That time. Looks like someone's actually kidnapped her this time.
Hard to argue with that. And hard to foresee what he's prepared to do to free her, get her back.
He's prepared to kill, that's clear.
As would you be for Yennefer. He kills for he cares for her deeply. And that blood, those individuals, they mean nothing to him.
Yeah, I get it now. He's out to rescue a female from his pack.
Exactly.
Right, so someone's blackmailing him. We know that. Still have no idea who. Need to look around some more.
Ah, que tengo que seguir buscando cosas. Vale, hombre, tiene pinta de que por aquí ya no hay nada. No. No, aquí por lo que sea no tiene que ser. O sea, tiene que ser aquí arriba. Ah, vale, iba a decir, ¿veis? Tiene que ser aquí arriba.
Look, slips of paper, name on each. Count Crespi, Count Dulac, Milton de Peyrac-Peyran, Count Delacroix.
Detlef's victims, one and all. But that's not his hand.
Must have come from whoever wrote the letter. All of it written using the same ink. See the color? Ink was dyed with cinnabarite. Rare mineral, pretty much found only in
Nazaire. But I fear it means very little. Anyone could have imported such ink.
Fair enough. Still worth remembering.
Look, this slip is stained.
With wine. Not much to go on either. Especially not in Beauclair.
Perhaps. Yet perhaps also worth remembering.
Let's sum up what we know. Seems Detlef's being blackmailed. Someone's been feeding him his victims' names.
All noted down using one and the same Nazaire ink. And not in his handwriting.
Not much.
But enough to ascertain Detlef's innocence, clearly.
Actually, it is. Detlef's being manipulated. Some lunatics turned him into a tool, making him kill.
So it would seem. But this illuminates a path of action for us. We must find Renowed, render the blackmail senseless. The lunatic or ticks will thus lose hold on Detlef.
Con lo fácil que es reunirte con el otro y decir, oye, ¿quién te está diciendo esto? Y te echamos una mano.
About Detlef. He gonna go on killing while I'm out searching for his lover?
He will not. I shall convince him to stay his hand. Assure him you're a friend seeking to help. I'll await him here. He's sure to return sooner or later.
Think he'll listen?
He will.
Ought to wait with you, maybe.
No, he'll sense you from a mile off. Simply fail to appear. I'd better stay alone. You must trust me on this.
Fine. Need to report to the Duchess first.
So be it. We'll await you here. Detlef and I both.
Sí, vamos, que si venimos luego en un ratito, pues... Vale. A ver. Que prefiero coger los viajes rápidos así porque vamos a tardar menos. ¿Ves? Ahora lo sutilmente es que va bien. O sea, ha craseado, ha vuelto a crasear a los 5 minutos y ahora va bien. Ahora no pasa nada. No lo entiendo. Sinceramente, o he instalado el OBS mal. O sea, tendría que desinstalarlo y volverlo a instalar o algo. O simplemente es que no tiene compatibilidad con Windows 11. O es que yo he tocado algo en la configuración que hace que crashee. Es que si no, no tiene sentido. Sinceramente, no tiene sentido. Entonces, no sé.
Geralt of Rivia, Master Witcher.
Seguramente me toque parar para ir a hacer la cena al hermano mío que tengo allí jugando a la consola. Pero bueno, más o menos podemos jugar hasta las 9:30 o algo así. 10.
Case is more serious than we thought. The beast, I couldn't kill it, didn't manage.
We sent you after a monster and you return with nothing? We are very disappointed.
Vete tú a cazarlo.
Quite that simple. Beast's a powerful vampire.
No, no le tienes que decir eso, le tienes que decir, digo, le das la espada y le dices, toma, vete tú a cazarlo. A ver si tienes los ovarios suficientes para ir tú y lo cazas. Es en plan, ¿qué te piensas? ¿Que esto va... ¿Que va demasiado rápido o cómo? Es en plan, ala, venga, llego, me lo cargo y venga. No, lleva un proceso.
And buckthorn? When I was a child, Grandmama Ademarta always claimed buckthorn drives...
Tu abuela no tiene ni puta idea.
Silver sword's your best option for keeping them at bay. But it won't get the job done. Because only a higher vampire can truly kill another of its kind.
Excuses. Ha! Your Grace, I shall assemble a battue. Bring the matter to its end at once. The Witcher need but tell us where to find this monster.
Venga, sí.
Go ahead. Send them to their death. Certain death.
To a lone Witcher, perhaps. To 40 of my men-at-arms? But another
sí.
40, 50, 100, doesn't matter. Won't make any difference against him.
You have not seen my God's men in action.
Can they fight fog? Hit a target that moves faster than the wind?
How? What creature
Un vampiro, te lo he dicho ya 3 veces. Es lo que hemos hablado.
Creatures like this one. Higher vampires, we call them. Each one's a little different. Unique or exceptional, you might say. Some transform into giant bats. Others communicate with animals, command them.
Yet all are still brainless beasts.
Joder, qué
Dead
obsesión.
wrong. Thinking of lesser vampires. Alps, Ekamaras, catacans, for instance. They're ruled by instinct, sure. Attack anything that smells of blood. Higher vampires? They think. They employ reason.
Monsters driven by reason. A curious contention. What then do you intend to do?
Pues en ello estamos.
Try to talk to him. That's our best bet.
I cannot believe this. Her Grace summons a Witcher to kill a monster. Instead,
Yo no he dicho que no vaya a matarlo, he dicho que quiero hablar con él.
His lover was kidnapped. He's being blackmailed.
Blackmailed? Be so kind as to explain how a vampire might be blackmailed.
Higher vampires? They're like us, motivated by emotions, not instinct. Not only are they intelligent to an extreme, they're emotionally rich, capable of feeling many things, even love. This one fell in love with a woman, a human, and he'll do anything to keep her from harm.
You do not, I trust, suggest we let Milton's killer go free, or wait until it murders again. We must render it harmless as quickly as possible.
Qué pena que no caiga una bomba aquí en el castillo.
I'll find the blackmailer, free the vampire's lover.
You were to destroy him, not help him.
No one else should die. That's most important. As soon as the woman's safe, he'll have no more reason to kill.
I admit to being swayed, Witcher. You may be right. Do you know anything about the blackmailer?
Got one lead. A few scraps of paper. Blackmailer wrote the names of the vampire's victims on them. One of them stained. A drop of wine, looks like. So damn little to go on.
You've no idea how wrong you are, my dear. Send for the ducal sommelier. Hop, hop! In Tucson, wine is sacred. Here there is no such thing as a drop of wine, or stains therefrom. They are stains from a drop of Est, Ervelus, Fiorano.
Your Grace wished to see me?
Verás.
Witcher, show him the paper scrap. Benoit, can you determine which wine made this stain?
Me encanta que todos sean el mismo modelado.
Yes. The west bank of the Sangre too. That's rather obvious.
Simplemente con olerlo ya sabes qué vino es.
Hue, deep burgundy. Clarity, high. It's simple. Saint-Réal, the 1269 vintage.
That's impossible. The wine is produced at Castel Revello, especially and exclusively for the ducal table.
Alguien de arriba está un poco regular.
We must go to the vineyard, see if there's not been an incident.
Wait, Your Grace wants to go with me? Out of the question.
Pues eso, vamos a jugar nada, media horita más. Me voy a hacer la cena y luego si eso continuamos, ¿vale? Y nos lo pasamos. Quiero quitarme este juego.
What you propose is far too dangerous. The Witcher should go alone.
It pleases me to see you gentlemen finally agree on something. But I've made
Así dejo que descanse un poco el OBS, ¿sabes? Aunque puede petar luego otra vez.
Accompanied by the best possible escorts. You, Captain, and Geralt. We will travel incognito. We've no wish to give the court any reason to gossip. For the duration of this mission, I release you from your obligation to adhere to court protocol. In short, from now on, I am Anna Henrietta, not your Grace.
Yes, Your Grace. Witcher, are you ready?
Sí.
Yeah, ready to go.
Excellent. Give me a moment. I must don something more appropriate and concealing. Then we will be off.
Sí, hombre, porque con todas las joyas y todo así, vestimenta, lo mismo la gente puede sospechar un poco. Me hace gracia el cubo ese que llevo ahí al lado. La cabeza del gigante es. A mí lo que me hace gracia es que van por ahí tranquilamente sabiendo que hay monstruos y hay cosas, ¿sabéis?
Have you ever faced its sort before?
I have.
How did it end? Did you kill it?
Didn't have to fight him. Hadn't killed anyone.
Have you ever heard of anyone defeating such a vampire?
Know of a man who defeated one, sure, but he didn't manage to kill it.
Van a ir a esta velocidad.
Ultimately, only another vampire can kill a vampire.
Seguramente ahora cuando terminemos esta misión ya paro. Vamos a buscar lo del vino.
Stay back, Your Grace. We shall see to this. Help! Save us!
Tío. Ah, que son panteros.
Done. Time to move on.
If not for you, we'd have been done for.
Thank you. You saved our lives.
¿Ya? ¿Podemos continuar?
Tell me more about this vineyard, Castel Revello.
It's the best in Oltusa. An old master of the winemaking trade runs it. Fabricio.
He trustworthy?
He's held his post for years. There's never been a problem. Till now. I wish to know your thoughts, Geralt.
¿Qué le pasa al caballo?
The Sonreal stay. How did it wind
¿Qué le
up?
pasa?
Is someone from the vineyard blackmailing the vampire?
Could be a
Va
servant.
un poco regular mi caballo,
Steward. Could be the wine was just stolen from the estate.
We shall know when we arrive. It's not far now.
Bueno, van un poco regular todos los caballos. Mira, yo sé qué le pasa a los caballos. Van bien. Van bien los caballos.
Captain de la Tour, we did not expect any visitors from the palace. How are affairs at court?
Doubtless you've heard of the Beast of Beauclair. Well, we've our hands full. Especially since the rogue last attacked in the palace gardens.
I trust Her Illustrious Highness was not harmed?
Kind of you to ask, Master Fabricio. I am well.
Your Grace? We were not warned. I shall order the salon prepared at once.
That won't be necessary. As you can see, we are not here on an official visit.
Naturally. Might I ask then what has brought you to Castel Ravello?
This is an inspection. We've got questions. You'll answer them.
Oh, and who are you, sir, to speak to me this way?
This is Geralt of Rivia, a witcher. He has come to Toussaint on my personal invitation.
Which is to say...
Which is to say, I expect you to treat him with the utmost respect.
Of course, Your Grace.
Did you hear that, Witcher? Fabricio will be delighted to answer your every question.
Want to talk about Sanreal?
I am at your service.
Some of this wine might have been stolen. Just a suspicion we have, but any burglaries lately?
Burglaries? Not to my knowledge. And a few days past I took stock of the inventory. All was accounted for. The barrels lie safely in the cellar, I assure you.
Who hauls the barrels to the palace?
We've our own garrison. Guards who have served here for years and would answer with their heads for the wine.
We'll not get anywhere asking questions, I see. It's a waste of time.
Your Grace? How am I to understand this?
Master Fabricio, we have proof someone's gained access to Sonreal. Someone who should not have, which means one of two things. Either you lie to our face, or you are an idiot who has had wine stolen from under his nose and not even realized it. In either case, you shall answer for it.
But...
Silence! And listen. I shall inspect the barrels in person, thus giving you time to reflect. When I return, I expect to hear answers. Remind me, where is the Sonreal stored?
In the main cellar, around the corner. I'll show you.
I shall find it. Give me the key to the cellar and wait here.
Oh, of course, Your Grace. Here it is.
Come, Witcher.
Está un poco regular y jodido, ¿eh? No me acuerdo si era culpable o no, ¿eh?
What if Fabricio's blackmailing the vampire? Considered that?
He has his flaws, but I would never suspect him of such a thing. He's been very loyal. He owes all he has to me. His father frittered away the family fortune. He left his son an encyclopedic knowledge of wine. That is all. Fabricio lived as a beggar until I appointed him steward of Castel Ravello. Only then did he come into his own.
¿A la izquierda o derecha? ¿Para dónde? Para la derecha.
So where do we start?
Let us see if all the barrels are present. Here's the inventory ledger.
A ver.
Vintner's log. Fermentation completed with no complications. Tapped above sediment line. Here it is. Barreling. Everything lines up at first glance. Neatly and thoroughly documented.
Then we must follow our other lead. Benoit said the stain came from the 1269 vintage. Let's find it.
Vale, creo que estaba arriba. Creo que estaba arriba, pero no me acuerdo en qué lado. 1270. Este no.
1270 vintage.
That's the wrong year. Keep looking.
Este no es. Del 68.
San Real. Barrels are dated 1268.
No, es este, el del 69. Aquí.
Right here. 1269. What now?
Let's see if any barrels are empty.
Wanna open them?
For now, a knock will suffice. If you hear a hollow thud, we will have found what we seek.
Full. This one's full too.
This one is full.
This one's full too. Full. This one's full too. Looks like all the barrels are full. Dead end, I'm afraid.
Full they are. The question is, are they full of San Real? Grab a tap and a hammer. We shall open them one by one and taste.
Ah, que ahora tengo que encontrar.
Barrel taps.
Vale, la espita esta. Y el martillo.
Got the taps.
Then get to work. Let's broach those barrels.
Ready.
Step aside.
Ese ya que lo va a probar, ¿no?
So?
Those hints of spice. Distinctive. This is San Real.
Pues venga. Another one. Oh, joder, qué rápido.
Revolting, bitter plonk.
Could have gone sour while aging.
Impossible. This is not wine. This is contaminated refuse that should never have made it into a barrel. The fact that it did was no accident, I'm sure.
Master Fabricio. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Venga.
Master Fabricio, I am very disappointed.
But, Your Grace,
You are a step away from losing your head. Speak the truth and you might yet keep it.
I admit it. I sold a barrel of San Real. I beg you to forgive me.
Why did you do it?
I couldn't resist. The sum they offered, it was enormous. I gave in.
Is what I provide not enough?
I wished to buy back my family's estate. For here, nothing is truly mine. I've a roof over my head, ample food to eat, but what is a nobleman without land of his own? I shall tell you everything if you agree to show me mercy.
Who'd you sell the wine to?
A few weeks past at the pheasantry, a rich nobleman approached me. He called himself a diplomat, well connected at court. He suggested we embark on an enterprise. Some of his clients had offered dizzying sums for even a drop of Sonreal. He was to serve as intermediary.
This man's name?
He never revealed it. He was tall, black-haired, and spoke with a foreign lilt. He claimed to hail from Sintra.
I've no Sintrian aristocrat at court.
Wine itself. How'd you hand it over?
We met under the cover of darkness in the ruins of Fort Astre. A dozen or so men came to collect. Armed men. The kind that stink of trouble. I had hauled the barrel there. They transferred it to their cart, and we went our separate ways.
That's it? That the last you ever saw of them?
That is to say, a few days passed. A messenger arrived. He said they wished to buy another barrel and, well, I've prepared it. Have it ready to deliver.
That's enough. Know all we need to know.
Your Grace, I beg your forgiveness.
Get out of my sight. Captain, have your men take Master Fabrizio to the dungeon. He must answer for his crime. High treason the charge. What now, Witcher?
We set a trap. Need to catch the wine thieves. Sintrian Noble could be our blackmailer. Next, transport. I'll take it to Fort Astra. Damien and his soldiers will cover me.
For once, I agree with you. We will do as you say. Let me know when you are ready.
See no reason to wait. Let's get going.
Todavía seguimos en la misma misión, ¿eh?
Position ourselves before you arrive. You take the cart and meet us there.
Fine. When the handoff begins, watch for my signal.
Estamos con todavía el de las botas, ¿verdad? ¿O este es el otro ya?
Relax. Now we wait.
Se va a liar. Son todos bandidos.
Ah, our favorite vintner.
It's not him.
Y ahora pues se lía. Me mola lo de los remates, tío. Es que es una salvajada. Sí, pero iba a decir, ¿no hemos dejado alguno con vida? Sí, sí, hay uno con vida ahí.
Is it just me, or did we agree you'd wait for my signal?
That was the plan, but...
Great shot. Good thing you reacted. Can't say how that would have ended otherwise.
At your service. It was a good fight. We managed to capture one of the scoundrels.
Let's ask him a few questions. Come on.
Witcher, a moment. I was wrong about you.
Well, had no reason to trust me, and I didn't do much to change that.
True. You are not the most endearing of men.
Hombre, hay que ser sinceros y decir la verdad, básicamente.
And I appreciate it. Let us go to her grace. She awaits nearby.
Not at all surprised. Expected she'd want to oversee this personally.
The master's eye fattens the calf. You're beginning to understand that, I see. This prisoner of yours, bring him to me. We must ask him some questions.
Venga, a ver si terminamos esta misión, paro, me voy a cenar y luego si eso vengo y seguimos. Joder, ¿puede tener la flecha esa más clavada?
Captain, do the honors.
Who sent you?
His name is Dog. They say he plowed your mother.
Once again, who sent you?
Your nun's lover. They call it...
Tiene una obsesión, ¿eh?
If he doesn't wish to speak, he needn't. I can think of several other ways he can be helpful.
Este pavo que tiene lo de la habilidad esa de la magia, en vez de coger y decir, espérate, que vamos a hacer esto más rápido. Vamos a esperar, a ver qué pasa.
Sure can. Fresh out.
In that case, he's all yours.
Captain, have your men find me a strong rope. Kind that won't snap when we hang this fellow from a tree.
Rope?
Live bait. Great for monsters, provided they catch the scent of its blood. But I'll see to that.
What? No. Crikey, no! Don't let him!
Joder, es que le atraviesa la flecha de lado a lado,
Save your strength. Got a long night ahead of you.
No! Don't let him! I'll talk!
Who hired you?
He'll kill me!
Ought to be worried about me right now. Who is he?
Go on, man. Spit it out.
The Centurion. That is what they call him. I've never seen him, but I know he mustered the men for this caper. That's what they said, that we were working for the Centurion. I don't know anything else. I swear it.
¿Esa flecha se la vais a dejar aquí o...?
Throw him in the dungeon. He shall await trial there.
¿Qué obsesión esta tiene con encerrar a la gente en la mazmorra, eh?
Gather your men and seek out the Centurion. Someone else must have seen him, must know of him.
Yes, Your Grace. I'll report to the palace as soon as I learn anything.
I shan't return to the palace. Our mission has not yet ended. The Witcher and I will await you at the guard post near the port.
Venga. En cuanto ya me den el control y me ponga lo de misión completada, ahí paramos, ¿vale?
He's late.
Relax, he'll come.
There's something I'd like to know. How can you be so damned calm?
Side effect of my mutations. We Witchers rarely get the jitters.
What if something has happened to him?
Captain seems like a man who can take care of himself.
Perhaps he can, but this Centurion appears to be no common bandit. He managed to steal ducal wine from under my guardsman's noses. We only learned of it through a fortunate coincidence. And it was he who specified the victims for the vampire. One must be exceptionally confident to blackmail such a monster.
Still don't know this Centurion's behind the kidnapping and blackmail. Might have just handled the theft of the wine.
Even if it's so, he then sold the wine to the blackmailers. As I see it, that makes him an accomplice.
Need to find the Centurion, whether or not he's responsible for the murders. Even if none of it's his doing, he could still know our blackmailer's identity. Besides, it's one thing to know who ordered the killings. Other thing entirely, and just as important, is why they... Someone's coming.
Captain, why so long? We expected you hours ago.
This Centurion does not work alone. We are fighting an organization, not one man. Bandits attacked us, not a small force either. One of my boys has a broken arm, another a shattered knee, lamed for life.
Ah, bueno.
And the word on the street is there's a hefty bounty on your head, Geralt.
No sería la primera vez.
Used to it. Not the first time I've been hunted.
Must you always? Now, the port warehouse where the wine was delivered, we identified it, then learned who had hired it out. This proved to be a beggar, a stand-in. We found him. He admitted all. A man had paid him to sign the lease, a man he met while begging outside the pheasantry. There, fate lent us a hand. A waitress recalled spilling wine on a nobleman who spoke with a Centurion accent.
What did he look like?
Her description was not helpful. Handsome, well-dressed, with a beard. No distinguishing marks. This could be anyone. But she remembered his female companion very well, as she recognized her. On the Centurion's arm was Cecilia Bellant.
The singer? I've heard of her. She's said to be gifted, very.
The same. We went to her home immediately. Cecilia was not there, but we questioned her servants. A chambermaid claimed Cecilia is to meet a Centurion gentleman tonight. She'd invited him to a reception mounted by the Mandragora.
Gotta nab the Centurion. Seems we have to go to that get-together.
You read my mind, Witcher. I shall gather my men, surround the establishment. Not a mouse will squeeze through.
Out of the question. If the Centurion truly does have men about the city, he will find out and escape once again.
Duchess is right. Need to be careful. Best go there, blend in with the crowd.
Ah, vale, ahora tenemos que ir a la fiesta esa, ¿no? Vale, yo creo que lo vamos a dejar ya.
Geralt and I. In that sort of company, the Witcher could use my help.
Where's the event gonna be held?
The Mandragora always assembles at the same place. A residence in Oatville. It's a very distinguished district.
Ah, bueno.
Geralt, you must don appropriate attire. Then meet me in Oatville, in Mountebank Alley.
No, a mí no me mires. Ahí está, misión cumplida. Y ahora nos da el hombre de Cintra, vale, pero ese ya lo vamos a hacer luego, ¿vale? Porque más o... Voy a mirar cuánto nos queda, ¿vale? Que sí, que ya sé. Que sí. El hombre de Cintra, vale. A ver, más o menos... Estamos por el hombre de Cintra. Vale, estamos en el hombre de Cintra. Luego queda la toma del castillo y la noche de los colmillos largos. O sea, nos quedan 3 misiones que se nos puede ir... Pues 1 hora y media, tranquilamente. 2, incluso diría. A lo mejor me equivoco, pero... Posiblemente. Porque el directo este llevamos 3 horas, más o menos me tienen que quedar 2 horas de juego, así que supongo que depende de la velocidad que vaya, pues 1 hora, hora y media, 2 horas, lo más probable. Pero bueno, lo vamos a ver luego, ¿vale? Así que, ala, me piro, me voy a hacer la cena y luego vuelvo a estar por aquí. ¡Hala!